Hi, Sandy.
Hi, it's Dave.
Hi, it's Kirk.
Welcome to the ADK Rock and Metal channel, and today we're going to check out a band called Atreyu.
Atreyu.
Isn't that from, like, Neverending Story?
Aren't they a metalcore
What's it called,
band?
Atreyu?
Is that the one with Lamal in it?
I
From
don't know, it's
Couch
like-
Goo Goo?
That's Neverending Story.
That's
I
the
don't
song,
know-
isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know Atreyu.
This
Atreyu.
is the
Atreyu.
never-ending story.
Save me! That was shit, I don't know. Anyway, we're seeing Dancing with the Dead video, so yeah, let's go check it out.
Atreyu.
Apparently we were warned.
Is this a new song?
Recent. A lot of these songs I've had downloaded for weeks for us to do, but we have so many to cover.
Yeah.
Hence why I haven't put discussions on topics for a while, because I thought I want to cover some videos for a while, so we're not getting anything done.
Sounds like Michael Stipe from R.E.M. I think.
Great beard. Bring the guy with the beard back. You look cool. Oh, dancing with my demons. My bad.
There's your dull chorus. Downstrumming chords, boring, atonal.
Oh, Kirk's a fan then.
Ooh, hello. Fucking hell, I'm back on board with that.
That's an interesting guitar tone.
Love that reverse pitch bend, yeah. Wow, how to actually pull the listener back in.
Depends on who they're targeting. There's going to be a lot of people that will go for it for this, but
Yeah.
might get thrown off by that heavy part.
I think they market themselves as a rock band these days, so yeah.
I hate the over-reliance on these backing
Yeah, I know.
things.
Yeah.
And to turn up to a gig and you have less you have less amps, less drum kits, and you have
Yeah.
more fucking laptops you have to find fucking DI points.
I'm surprised we've never weighed in on that Sebastian Bach, Ronnie Radke beef about that. It started from that Ronnie Radke's band, didn't it? Hollywood and, not Hollywood and Dead, but they had to cancel the tour because they'd lost their
Fully
laptops. Yeah. Fucking yes.
I'd much rather a band had like extra musicians live on stage.
Yeah.
And they say that because of their production so big, they can't do that.
Fucking yes. Shame about the bland chorus, but that's actually cool. That's how to use the low end of a 7-string guitar.
Okay, there we go. Atreyu and Dancing with My Demons. I don't know why I said Dancing with My Dead. I think it's because I hadn't written it down properly, but Dancing with My Demons. Andy, what's your thoughts?
Band I've heard of, been around for a long time, I think, haven't they? But honestly, never heard a single note from them, and probably quite pleased about that. And it won't be any more unless you bring any more. Just not my sort of thing,
Right,
know?
okay.
I mean, my first thoughts are, you know, it goes back to those bands that appeal to a certain demographic, you know, like Bullet Fire Valentine and My Chemical Romance. It's what's that genre, Kirk? You know, that kind of, it's not metalcore, is it? This, because it's not aggressive enough. There's a very small
It's
aggressive.
diet metalcore.
Yeah, slim down,
don't know,
slim
I
fast
don't
metalcore.
Weight Watchers metalcore.
Yeah, I mean when it first started, I really like the guy's vocals actually,
Yeah.
especially in the verses. You know, it's you know, emotive, and I really was sort of connecting with that. And then it didn't really go anywhere, and the chorus carried on the same, and in the mix was here and there. I just didn't pick out any sort of guitars or any riffs. The video was awful. I mean, it certainly lived up to the captions where it said amazing dancing, which was obviously sarcastic and flashing images. I mean, it was just, it's an unusual effect. I've never seen it before, but it just didn't want me to watch it. You know, it put me off looking at the screen because it was just, you couldn't absorb anything that was on the screen, and it just kept changing. It just didn't work for me, the effect they was going for. But yeah, the sort of, I mean, we all sort of took a sort of, oh, that was interesting, when the sort of after the first chorus, it was kind of like a very strange sort of low guitar tone and, you know, some aggressive vocals over the top of it, and then it reverted back to the usual format, and then it came back again later on in the song. But yeah, I don't know when this is from. You said it's quite a recent one, but I know it's been around a while. But
2023, it's from the last album called The Beautiful Dark of Life, released by Spineform Records.
Not for me, but I'm sure for fans of the band and fans of this genre, it's a decent track. But the video, I can't think of how anybody would enjoy repeat viewing of that, because it was visually disturbing and not in the right way.
Okay, so from my point of view, so there's a couple of things that always kind of gets me with this, and we talked about, prior to doing this, we did an album review for the band Kadama, and I talked about lack of instantaneous hook. Now this sort of music gives you instantaneous hook, so people listening to it will either like it or they won't. It's their sort of thing, and they're instantly, if you're into this sort of music, you're going to straight away get connected with it. But then that becomes the problem, where so many bands do that. They go for that instant hook thing, which means they all start sounding the same. There are so many bands, whether it be things like I Prevail and bands like that, and you kind of go, they're all kind of doing the same sort of thing. They've got heavy vocals, they've got clean vocals, they had to break down, they're big open chords. There was that really tasty, interesting guitar tone, heavy breakdown sort of section.
Really intruded upon the song, doesn't it?
It was very different, and it was much needed to break the song up. Video-wise, I completely understand what you're talking about, where it doesn't make a lot of sense until I sort of started thinking about it, going, the song title's called Dance With My Demons. It's a glass box. They're representing the thoughts inside their head. They're trapped in their head, and that's why they're behaving. They're dealing with all their stuff inside their shell. There's no escape. They're looking at the world outside. I was like, okay, I kind of get where they're going for it, but it's just too much to constantly just be doing that. Well done to the videographer for the fact that they're shooting in a room where they can see all the reflections. You don't actually see the reflection of the camera. Considering there's reflections everywhere, including the back wall had a reflection, because you can see the back of the guy singing, but you don't actually see the camera that's in shot. So I thought that was really well done. They actually didn't capture that, because that would have been very easy to see a guy with a camera doing this. Would have broken it down. But I don't think I've ever come across the band, or I've heard the name. I have heard the name before. I just automatically just listened to looked at it, went, Atreyu. They're going to be some death metal band from like some European country. That's what I just thought. Atreyu, European death metal, and that's why I never even bothered even considering it.
I knew the sort of band they were, which is why I've never listened to them. I didn't think they were death metal, but I knew the sort of, when the sort of bands they'd done shows with and that they feature with in some of the magazines back in the day. But sorry, carry on.
It's for me, the challenge here with this band is they've done nothing wrong musically.
Yeah, they're
kind of a compliment, is that?
No, but they haven't done anything to make me or to help me distinguish them from any of the other bands doing the same thing. And that's the only problem. You've got good vocals. They know how to write hooky, catchy tracks. They've got a good breakdown in there, but then so is everyone else. And that's where I'm now stuck in a position going, if I only have time to listen to 5 or 6 bands throughout the day of what I'm listening to, what makes Atreyu not one of the other bands off the list that I was going to listen to? What separates them out? If I'm going to be listening to theatrical metal, and then I might have some symphonic metal, if I'm going to listen to Diet Coke metalcore, then Diet generic branded metalcore, then what makes me pick Atreyu over the others? And that's where a lot of these bands have got the problem, because they're all following the same blueprint, the same stylization. So if you don't listen to a lot of it, and you're limited, back in the day when you had to actually buy your music to listen to, then that would be fine. But nowadays, with everything so accessible, so streaming, what sets this band apart from everyone else? So they're the ones that spearhead the changes rather than the ones that just become followers. And that's the problem that happened with new metal. So many people just followed suit, and they were just churning out watered down versions of the bands that had spearheaded the movement. And I don't see Atreyu being the spearheaders of a movement. I see them as following what other people have done before them. So, Kirk?
Well, sorry to bore you, but we can trace the origins back to this type of
Faith No More?
aggressive pop writing. Yeah, it is. It's that 1989 album, The Real Thing. And specifically, if you take a song like Falling to Pieces, if you take that, what Faith No More did, which was very clever, is they would write a pop song and then deliberately subvert it. And the lyrics were often really disturbing. Mike Patton would never put his voice to a chorus as bland as that. But I tell you what I did like, that when that guitar intrudes upon it, that's how to use a 7-string guitar. I thought that was fantastic. I was bored shitless after 40 seconds until that. It was almost like a glitch, wasn't it? It just came from nowhere. So I appreciate what they're doing. They know straight away this song's going to be anchored to a chorus, but what can we do to possibly pique the interest of people who listen to heavier forms of music? Because the origins are metalcore, so we're always going to give it a listen. That almost saved it, but I've got to say, that type of chorus I've heard so many times. There's no thought gone into it. Yet, it is memorable. It's an earworm, I think, to use that phrase. Not in a good way. I would not be able to listen to an album of that. It's from their 2023 album, The Beautiful Dark of Life, which, looking at it, was released via Spinefarm Records. I'm like Andy, I know the name. I actually did know that their origins were metalcore, and that's probably why I didn't give them a listen. I think they market themselves just as much as a modern rock band now.
Okay.
So I'm not going to criticize them and say, oh, why wasn't that heavier? They're doing what they want to do. Just a bit too obvious for me, and I agree with you. What do they do that distinguishes them from thousands of other bands? Well, they did try to do something where they put that really heavy, syncopated, crunchy guitar riff, and I'm pleased that they revisited that after each chorus. So not as bad as I was fearing after the first 40 seconds, but I just cannot listen to music with choruses like that. They are so bland. It's just not my thing. And yet again, it just proves Faith No More might have influenced a lot of bands. Not many of them are decent bands, unfortunately.
Including Faith No More. So there we go.
You managed to bookmark Faith No More at the beginning. No, what's the word?
Bookended it.
Bookend,
Yeah, we bookended it.
Beginning and end, yeah.
There we go. If you enjoyed our video today, please do like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you on another video sometime very soon. Take care.